Hello and welcome to the GESS Education Global Leadership Summit. Thank you for joining us. We're pleased to introduce Omar Rizk, Chief Technology Officer at GamaLearn, and Dr. Ibrahim Alhassan, Chief of E-Commerce Department at the Saudi Electronic University. We hope that you enjoy this session, and I'll now hand over to you, Omar, and Dr. Alhassan.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be with everyone today. Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim, for accepting the invitation to be part of this great webinar and part of a great summit. Again, my name is Omar Rizk. Today, we're going to be showcasing a case study, a success story with one of our partners and customers in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Electronic University. And with us, Dr. Ibrahim Alhassan, representing the head of e-commerce department. And we're going to be talking about how the university adopted GamaLearn solutions for online digital remote assessments to be able to transform the traditional ways of doing exams on campus to complete remote, completely integral, and completely sustainable operations without having any kind of compromise or any kind of makeups or in any way pushing and rescheduling and having a different strategy to online assessments. And I'll be handing over to discussion with Dr. Ibrahim, who will lead the second part of the presentation. Dr. Ibrahim.
Thank you, Omar, for this invitation, and I'm happy to present our case study for Saudi Electronic University for adopting a e-exam and the process to take this over 2 years. Over the 2 years. So we started with a paper-based as any university. Then we moved to computerized exam, where we had the exam in the campuses. Then the distance exam when we started the COVID-19, the pandemic of COVID-19. Then now we are applying the distance with AI proctoring. We got a couple of successful stories around this method. So with the distance, with the AI proctoring, we had AI proctoring, the normal one, which is less cost and easy to manage. All students get into the exam at the same time. And we tried the hybrid one, which is more efficient in terms of the result, whereas there is a delay and high cost. So in comparison with the result, paper-based and computerized exam, we got the similar average of the result. Then the distance exam without AI proctoring, we got more a higher result, which is normal. Then after applying AI proctoring, it's going down more. Whereas going down more with 81%, without taking out all the evaluation cases. Once we take them out, we are around the same range of paper-based. So we believe implementation of e-exam requires 6 pillars: technical support team, an intelligence and monitoring and system that can be linked with the computerized testing system, AI proctoring, and trusted e-exam system, where we already implemented the GamaLearn solution, and increase the awareness of faculty member, increase awareness of student, clear work system and mechanism, where we have the policy and the governance. So we applied different methodologies and different awareness program and sessions with the faculty members, with the student, with the, we developed the all the procedures and policies for our exams internally. This include all the process, the decision-making areas, and so on. Also, from the technical support, we applied the latest technologies in terms of live support and getting into the student machine. Finally, we elaborate the system of GamaLearn system, which is we call it SwiftAssess in our case, where we have all the functionality that suit us. Also, the main critical success factor for having SwiftAssess is the linking with learning outcomes and the play around the question bank and to build the exams. So we consider it the best solution for us at this time with integration with AI proctoring. So that's the summary of our case in Saudi Electronic University. I'd like to leave it with Omar to showcase the software itself.
So instead of actually having a system review, maybe a couple of questions for the audience to maybe have a quick understanding of maybe the challenges that they would typically run through going through a remote assessment scenario. And a lot of the universities, a lot of the educational institutions since 2020 and until now have been struggling with finding the best way to adopt the online examination as a mechanism. What kind of cultural and challenges you had to work through going from the online normal and then online AI? What kind of challenges are there and how you solved it as part of the awareness and the policies and procedures? That's one of the questions that institutions are always interested in knowing, because it's not always about the solution and the software, it's about the actual handling of how students and culture happens in the educational establishment.
Yeah, you are right. Actually, we had a couple of challenges that before we apply the AI proctoring, there are two things, culture things and technical things. Applying AI proctoring, that means we need a good connection, we need better devices, or at least normal device. So that's where, in terms of technical, we had a huge awareness program to the student to make sure they are in a good setup for taking the exam. I think we achieved it. And the second part, which is the culture thing, the question why we are recording their videos and screens while they are doing the exams. So especially for the female, we had a couple of awareness sessions with them to make sure they accept this challenge and or this issue, and we made sure there is no access to this video unless it's needed. And this is part of ongoing development of the education. So we had to go through it.
Thank you for that point. And one more question here would be for higher education institutions specifically, when we're talking about examinations, digital examinations, it's always a question of how does it work with the quality requirements in the university on a college level, on an institutional level. So how did SwiftAssess help you achieve a benchmarking capability when it comes to the automation of accreditation requirements, the local accreditation committee quality requirements, and so on? What exact capabilities are you using to remove the workload from faculty members and quality officers, which used to be a burden before adopting a solution for that?
Actually, we had when we had the paper base, each question should be linked with the learning outcomes, and the full exam, the full assessment should be linked with all the learning outcomes, and then PLOs for the learning outcomes for the program itself. What's the difference is the linking automatically with the, so in the SwiftAssess we applied all the learning outcomes and the PLOs as well. Then the questions should be linked with that. So we got the auto reporting. Then internally in our university, we developed a system that integrated with SwiftAssess to show immediately the result, or to generate the report, the actual formatting that required.
So the great news for educators in this case is that the time used to be taken to produce manual reports and manual accreditation compliance is no longer an issue.
Yeah. Yes.
And just to confirm for the audience as well, how many academic programs are we running in Saudi Electronic University? And are we doing undergrad or postgrad or a combination of both? A little bit about the academic.
I just had the statistic. For this semester, we had 250 exams. Yes, 250 exams.
250 exams. And how many colleges and how many academic programs?
For 5 colleges. 4 main colleges and the prepare year.
And all of the undergrad and postgrad, as well as the common year, they're all running digital exams. Or are we having any kind of exception?
There is no paper-based here.
Everyone is using remote and digital examinations.
Yeah.
So, of course, everyone, a lot of these institutions we're talking to these days, they have questions about how to adopt the best solution to work with the challenges of online examinations when it comes to security, when it comes to reporting, to question banking, to items, to assessment techniques, and more. And today, one of the case studies we're showing here is how a university transcended from a paper-based model to fully operational, fully automated, and AI-enabled. And as Dr. Ibrahim mentioned, this happened over the course of the last 2 years. So they started in 2019, and now it's 2021 with a full transformation from on-campus to online examination. For those of you who still have some questions about how can SwiftAssess leverage different solutions that works with your very unique blueprint for examinations for remote assessments and challenges, feel free to reach out to GamaLearn on the portal for the summit itself, where we can help you out by answering your questions. And you can also reach out to us on GamaLearn.com as well as SwiftAssess.com, and we'll be sharing the contact details on a slide after this session. Thank you so much, Dr. Ibrahim, for being with us today. We appreciate your input and your support, and all the best to Saudi Electronic University with their ongoing examinations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was very insightful, Omar and Dr. Ibrahim. If you have any questions pertaining to the session, you can connect with Omar and Dr. Alhassan through the networking system on the virtual event platform. We'd also love to hear from you, so feel free to share any thoughts or comments by sending us an email to marketing@gesseducation.com. We'll be on social media as well during the summit, so if you want to chat to us there, follow us on Twitter @GESSEducation, and use the hashtags #GESSGlobal and #GESSEducation. We hope that you enjoy the rest of the event. Thank you, and bye-bye for now.
Goodbye.